think in your theme there's something about also the idea of beauty, which is not directly what I'm been working on, but I do have works that talks about how the human body, physically or conceptually, is linked to the media works. So, but I may approach it in not in my usual way, because usually I don't record or create images just on the human body. But I'm trying to link the two elements of technology and the human body into one singular entity. So I will be using physical objects and also a human body to fuse into one element, and also it will be shown through an electronic media like television or other form of monitors and projection. Okay, working in media art, space shouldn't be that much of a challenge, because the media art form can be flexible. It can be adapted to different kinds of spaces. But I think it's more on how I present the visuals and maybe with sound. It's challenging, I think, in terms of only about like what I should show in the content and how it's linked to this overall your curatorial framework. The technology-wise or space, I'm not that concerned, because I can adapt to different spaces. I think it's more on how to relate the content and the idea of the work to maybe to the approach of the festival. I will usually start with what I can use, what kind of media and equipments, and what kind of application I can use, and how it's relevant to this idea of this subject of the human body. So right now I've been trying to experiment with different sort of displays, like different kinds of monitors or projections, or different way of presenting those images, whether it's a large-scale projection or whether it's using smaller scale TV or monitors. I think the different sort of displays will create different look of the work, and I also try to make sense of why I use certain equipments. It's not just to show something, but I want to using the equipment and the media and maybe the software and the mode of recording and editing to relate to the human body or the subject matter. So that the work is only applicable to that sort of media. I always try not to have any messages, any kind of message in my work, because I think the visual or the images should hold those content or the message. Yeah. So I don't think about any like one-liner message or one sort of slogan or things like that. I will think about how the images can create more dimension for the viewer. So when they see the work, they can think about or associate different things that is about the work. And I also try not to have too many meanings inside the work, because we just burden the artwork or the installation. I think being simple is quite difficult. To narrow down to narrow down your concept to a very focused area, it's quite difficult because you got different media, you got different stuff, different technology. And, I think one will tend to add a lot of stuff, add a lot of things and images. And too many things, too many images, or sounds, or videos, or installation that will make things complicated. So I always try to make it simple and focus. Yeah, I think this project is really difficult. Yeah. Firstly is the space, there's too much light, and even I work with glass, I'm fine with working with glass, but I think in that environment it's quite cramped. So the space has become a challenge for me, and I also find that the recording and the editing part is quite difficult to make sense out of it. Even though the images can be simple, it can be clean, but to achieve the kind of look that I want to show the viewer that this video or this installation touch on this topic or this issue, it can be a challenge. So I think simply because it's not something that I would usually do, or not the topic that I will touch on. So whether it looks good or not, we'll see.